Sherry, the lunch you made for me today was super good. Have you been secretly taking cooking classes while I've been at work? That chicken Alfredo was made from scratch, right? The salad that you made paired perfectly with it. Even though I heated the chicken Alfredo up in the microwave, it tasted just as fresh.
Well, when it gets to be the middle of the week, I know you kind of get a little burned out due to your work. That's why I wanted to make one of your favorite dishes to give you a little boost for your day. No, I haven't been secretly taking cooking classes, but I'm so glad you enjoyed it. It makes me happy.
Of course I enjoyed it. I love your cooking. It was one of the first things that I noticed about you when we first started dating. I've been so happy ever since we got married.
I've been so happy ever since we got married, too. I am so happy that you always enjoy my cooking, and I always appreciate it when you let me know.
Of course. Thanks for always supporting me.
That goes for you, too. Thank you for supporting me. And thanks for always working so hard and getting money to support us. You do a lot for us.
What are you talking about? You take care of the house and even help take care of our finances.
Well, I only work a couple hours a day. It's not much, but at least it gives me something to do while I'm at home. And so, I guess I do tend to have a little more free time than you to help out around the house.
Regardless, thank you. You're the best. I'm grateful for you every day. I mean, you're always so nice. You take care of things around the house. Not to mention you're super cute. I am the luckiest guy in the world.
Just because we're newlyweds doesn't mean that you have to say such embarrassing things. I hope you're not saying those type of things outside the home.
Why not? It's fine. I boast about you, my beautiful wife, all the time at work. I'm not embarrassed about it at all. I'll shout it from the rooftops if I have to. I want everyone to know how much you mean to me.
That makes me embarrassed. I doubt you ever talked about your mother that way. It makes me happy that you think so highly of me, but please keep that to yourself.
Is that so?
Just having you think of me like that makes me happy. Oh, by the way, do you want to go on a little trip this weekend? I think this will be the first time in a little while where we're both free. Apparently, there is a new buffet that just opened in the next town over. And you know how much I love a good buffet. Anyways, my friend went and she said that they only use the best of the best when it comes to their food, and that it actually tastes really good. And I know that sounds too good to be true, especially coming from a buffet, but this friend is the only one that I trust when it comes to good food.
Are you talking about Sarah? She seems to always know where the good food is. And regarding the buffet, that's fine and all, but... And I hate to do this, but is it possible that we just go the following week? This week my mom invited us to have lunch at her place.
Oh, again?
Well, remember, last time you weren't able to make it because you were back at your own parents' home. My mom apparently wanted to see you again. She said to bring you this time.
Oh, I see. But does your mom really want to see me again?
Sounds like she does. Is there something wrong? You don't seem too keen on the idea of meeting her again.
Well, you see, and this could be me completely overthinking things, but I kind of get this feeling that maybe your mom doesn't really like me.
What? Why do you think that? You guys were getting along pretty well before we were married.
We were getting along before, but ever since we got married, I feel like she started being a little colder to me. Like when I try to talk to her, she's been ignoring me more and more as of late. There's just something that I can't put my finger on.
That's interesting, because it doesn't look that way from my end. But I mean, if she really didn't like you, I don't think she would have invited you over for food. Even last time around, she was saying how she wanted you to come over instead of me.
Is that so?
Maybe she doesn't act the way she used to because we got married and you're finally part of the family now. My mom is the type who kind of puts on a face when it comes to people outside our family.
I mean, if that's what it is, that would be great.
If you're so worried about it, do you want me to talk to my mom about it?
No, it's all right. I mean, if what you're saying is all right and it's just a misunderstanding on my part, I would feel so bad to put that type of blame on her. And if anything, I would want to tell her myself. Especially since I want to maintain a good relationship with your mom.
Oh yeah? Well, if anything happens, be sure to let me know, alright?
Yeah, thanks. Oh, isn't your break almost over?
Oh shoot, you're right. When I'm talking to you, somehow time always just flies by. I'll be done with work at 5 per usual, and then I'll swing by the library to pick up that book you reserved on my way home.
Sounds good. I'll have dinner ready by the time you get home.
Do you think we could have meatloaf for dinner tonight?
Of course. I'll just go to the grocery store really quick and grab everything for it. You're the best.
You're the best.
Good luck with the rest of your work.
Thanks. Good morning, Sherry. You're able to come over on the weekend, right? I've been looking forward to seeing you again.
Good morning, Karen. We are looking forward to going over to your place this weekend.
Is that so? Very well. We got a lot of crabs and seafood from our good friend. My husband and I can't eat all of the crabs and seafood because it's just the two of us, so we wanted to have you guys over to help us out. Kyle said that one of your favorite foods was crab and that you liked other seafoods as well.
Thank you very much for thinking of us. I don't have the chance to eat crab often, so I'm really glad you invited us over.
What? Are you saying that Kyle doesn't make enough money for you to live a lavish life?
I'm sorry. I think there has been a misunderstanding. That wasn't at all my intention when I said that. It's just that crabs are a luxury item, and it's just hard to even bring myself to imagine buying any. I've always grown up being pretty frugal, so it's hard for me to even splurge on something like that.
Is that so? Pardon me. That was a misunderstanding on my part.
That's all right. I'm sorry for saying it in a way that led you to think that way.
I'm just worried about you two newlyweds. I just want to make sure you guys are doing all right as a couple, and that you guys are eating proper and nutritious meals. Kyle is always so optimistic that any food you put before him, he'll gratefully eat and always say that it's delicious. I once accidentally added extra salt into the cookies that I was making, and he still enthusiastically ate them with glee. Anyways, you're still so young. You still lack the proper knowledge and experience, right?
You're right. I'm learning something new every day. And I'm trying to be careful when it comes to nutrition, but I know I still have a way to go.
That's why I invite you guys over so often. Because I want you guys to live a proper life.
Thank you for looking out for us. I still lack a lot of experience, but please teach me what you know so I can start filling that gap.
I'm so glad you said that. I mean, whenever you come over, you act like a guest, you know?
What do you mean by that?
What? You don't get what I'm trying to get at? It means that even though you are family, you never reached out to lend a hand. It was fine when you guys were still dating, but now that you've married into the family, you should be proactive in finding ways to help out.
I'm sorry. It just didn't occur to me.
Even if I say it's fine if you don't help out. A normal daughter-in-law would at least help their mother-in-law with cooking the food. All you do is just set the table and maybe clear the dishes. That's something that you ask children to do. You're an adult. You have different responsibilities now.
I am so sorry. From now on, I'll help you out with preparing the food.
It's fine. You don't have to do that. I bet all you would do is just cut stuff up anyways. And you're just saying that because I called you out. It's a little embarrassing, don't you think?
But I really did want to help out. Please let me learn from you.
Fine, I guess. This time, hopefully, you'll do things on your own instead of me prodding you to do things. Since you married my son, I have to have you learn all of our family recipes and secrets now.
Understood. I'll do my best.
I'm sorry. You don't think I am an annoying mother-in-law now, do you?
No, not at all.
I'm glad. If you thought I was harassing you based off of this small thing, I would be very shocked.
No, everything is fine. No need to worry.
Sherry, why did you just leave? Do you not know what you just did?
Of course I know what I did. I was there, remember? I flipped over the table with all the food on it. So, what about it? You have a problem with it?
Why are you so upset? My mom is crying. I don't think I've ever seen my mom cry this much. She went through all that trouble to make that meal. I can't believe you just ruined it. Come back and apologize to my mom right now.
Never in 100 years. The last thing that I want to see right now is your mom, especially after what she did to me. Also, I don't want to die, so I never want to see your mom ever again. And furthermore, I will never see her again.
What? What do you mean by I don't want to die? What are you talking about?
I was the only one who was served rotten food. You guys all got fresh food, but for some reason, mine was bad. If I had eaten that, I was sure to get food poisoning. Who knows? Maybe the food poisoning would have been so bad that I died. Maybe that wouldn't have been such a bad thing. At least then, I would never have to interact with your mom again.
Huh? What are you even talking about?
Have you guys cleaned up everything already?
No, everyone was taken by surprise and it's still the same as when you left. My mom is in her bedroom crying. She's been locked up in there for over an hour now. My dad is pretty upset and confused about this whole thing too, and is just trying to comfort her. There's food everywhere and it's all gone to waste. What a shame. I think I'm going to start cleaning up this mess now.
Then go look at the food I was served. If you can say that it's edible, I will gladly come back and give your mom a heartfelt apology.
What? Everything is all over the floor.
The crab meat should still be in its shell. You can check that.
If you're being that persistent, I guess I can check it out. Give me a minute.
Yeah. But I really don't think you should even try to see if it's edible. You should be able to tell just by smelling it. If you can confirm what I said, that's all I need.
I checked. I'm sorry. It's just as you said.
Did you eat it?
I couldn't bring myself to. I think I would have thrown up if I did. There was this string of nasty stuff that I pulled out of that shell. It just smelled so bad, I think I threw up in my mouth a little. I'm sorry, Sherry. I don't know what sane person would make someone eat that type of rotten garbage. I truly am sorry.
As long as you understand, that's all I need. I just need you to understand where I'm coming from because I married you, not your family. That's why I can never see your mom again. Especially since my suspicions of her being petty towards me were true.
What? What suspicions are you talking about? Are you talking about the whole thing where you thought that she was being cold to you?
Yeah, I'm talking about the whole thing where I thought she was being cold to me. It's been happening for a while now. Everyone else's meals would always be piping hot and served fresh, but for some reason, only mine was always cold. Sometimes my meal would be the only one without meat. Sometimes the juice in my glass would taste very watered down. I even sometimes found hair in my food. I always thought that maybe these things were just a coincidence, but it seems like I was wrong.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry I was so oblivious to this.
It's not something you should blame yourself for. If you just took a quick look, you'd never be able to tell that something was off. Even I was trying my hardest to not believe that it was true and that it was just my imagination. Because who would ever want to think that their mother-in-law would hate them? I wanted to talk things over with you. But if I was wrong about the things I was accusing her of, it would have been very rude of me, right? Especially since your mom was so nice to me before we got married. I just don't know what happened between the time that we were still dating to the time we got married.
But why did this happen all of a sudden? I have to find out how it came to this, and why all of this happened. I'm going to go ask my mom. And I'm going to tell her to never go near you, ever again. You should just continue home. I know it has been a long and stressful day for you.
Will do. I'll be waiting for you at home.
Sounds good. I'll be home in a little bit.
Were you able to talk to your mom? Did she say anything about me?
Yeah, I was able to talk to her after she calmed down a little bit. I asked her why she gave you rotten food to eat. She said that she had no clue that she gave you rotten food and that it must have been a mistake.
Did you believe her?
Well, I pressed a little further in some of the other points that you brought up, and she basically confessed to all of the horrible things that she did to you. I still can't believe that she did this to you. I'm such a lousy husband.
You're not a lousy husband. It might have taken you a little bit, but you believed me. You took my side and confronted your own mom. I will always be grateful for that. What does your dad think about all of this?
I talked to my dad, and he had no idea that all of this was going on. He always thought that you two had a good relationship. He said he never knew my mom was treating you this way. He told me to apologize on his behalf for all the heartache this might have caused, and that he's glad that you married into our family.
Tell your dad it's all right. Your dad is one of the kindest people I know. I know he would never intentionally let me be harassed by your mom. I wonder if your grandma ever did anything like this to your mom.
My grandma? There's no way that she would do such a thing. She's always had a heart of gold, and she never puts anyone down.
Can you just call her and ask her if she knows anything about why someone would be so mean to their daughter-in-law?
Yeah, I'll call her later and see what I can find out.
Thanks. I really appreciate it.
Anything to make up for my careless mistake. Anyways, I told my mom that if she doesn't apologize to you, that I won't ever come back home to see her. Sherry, you saw my message wherein I apologized, did you not? Why aren't you responding to me? I apologized, didn't I? Won't you just let bygones be bygones and put this whole thing behind us? If it continues like this, Kyle says he won't ever come see me. I don't know what I would do if I could never see my Kyle again. Because of you, my relationship with my son is hanging on by a thread.
You're the one who caused a relationship to sink.
Oh, I see you can respond if you're going to voice complaints at me.
Karen, have you really reflected on what you have done?
Of course I have. That's why I apologized to you. My apology text was left unread, so I'm sure you've read it, haven't you?
Oh, I read it all right. That fake apology text? My younger brother could apologize better than that, and he's only 10 years old.
You're calling it fake? How could you say such a rude thing? Who do you think you are?
Then would you like me to explain which parts of your apology were trash? Because I will gladly do so. And I quote, "I'm sorry, Sherry. I believe that what I did was wrong. However, I also believe that what you did was wrong. I'd like you to clarify something for me. When you said that I was also in the wrong, could you explain to me what you meant by that?"
Well, that's because you flipped over the table that had all the food on it. And on top of that, up until now, you never once helped make the meal. Thinking that you could just get away with just washing the dishes. Unacceptable!
I have already apologized for not helping out. I don't know why you keep trying to beat a dead horse. On top of that, even though I didn't mention it before, I have offered numerous times to help out up until now, haven't I? Wasn't it you who was the one who rejected my offers? So clearly, I don't see how I could be in the wrong for this one.
Even then, all I am trying to say is that it is your job to help out as the daughter-in-law. Regardless, you haven't even apologized for flipping the table.
I was served rotten food. Who in their right mind serves rotten food to their own daughter-in-law?
That doesn't mean you have to flip the table. Especially since there was also perfectly fine food on the table, too. You ruined the crabs that we got from our friend. If he learns that we didn't even end up eating the crabs, I don't know if he'll ever give us any of his surplus again.
I do feel sorry for the crabs going to waste. I really do feel sorry. Not for you, but for the crabs and all the other food that was with it. That crab lived its life to be eaten by us. You let it go rotten and ruined a perfectly good crab. The other food was ruined by a byproduct of your actions.
How dare you accuse me of letting the crab become rotten just so I could serve it to you? I would never waste a precious, perfectly good crab on you. There was one rotten one, and it just so happened that I served it to you.
What a coincidence! I'm sure it brought a smile to your face when you realized you could serve it to me. Anyways, let's go back to your apology text. Quote, "A bride is the property of the household and is to obey the commands of their husband's parents." I'm sorry, but I don't remember becoming your guy's property.
Marriage means that you marry into the family, not just your husband. The daughter-in-law doesn't have any right to give their opinion.
I married Kyle, not you guys. It's true that in the past that when you married someone, you married not only them, but their whole family. But get with the times! It's 2022! Can you seriously say to your friends and neighbors that the bride is the property of the family she marries into?
You don't understand. Things were different back in the day. If the people you ask were from my generation, they would understand.
Oh, I understand. Well then, I will just let your friends know what you just told me. Should I go around the neighborhood and take a survey to see if people will agree with you as well?
Stop that! What good will come of that?
It's for my benefit. I want to know how many people would back me up compared to you. It's also to help show you how far you have veered off from how society thinks.
You don't have to do that. Anyways, I apologized. So tell Kyle that you forgave me. Then we can just let bygones be bygones.
No matter how many times you apologize, I do not intend to just let bygones be bygones.
What? Do you not understand how I'm trying to compromise with you here?
I do not understand in the slightest. I can't understand the way you think even a little bit. Please, enlighten me with your thought process. In the apology text, you said, "In my time, it was custom for daughter-in-laws to be served cold food and leftover scraps." Is it possible that because your mother-in-law did this to you, that you did this to me?
Yes, you're correct. I've put up with it all this time. I'm telling you that you should put up with it too.
You're under the impression that it's okay to do bad things to people if bad things have happened to you? I understand now. Well then, I will be bringing items that are past their expiration date over to your place. Please let me watch as you eat them.
That is something that the mother-in-law does to the daughter-in-law. If you want to do something like that, have kids and then do it to one of their brides.
No, I plan on ending this vicious cycle of treating brides poorly with me. I don't know how this even became a thing, but I can't let it continue. By the way, isn't your mother-in-law still alive? I reached out to her through Kyle, and she was pretty upset because she said she never ever did the sort of thing you just accused her of.
Huh? You asked her? Why would you ask her?
I thought that it would be necessary to confirm the truth with her. I don't think I could have forgiven you, but if you really went through such hard times, this conversation would have gone in a different direction. I may have still been a little upset, but at least I would have felt sorry for you.
How could you do such a thing? You must have a lot of time on your hands.
You were the one who made me take the initiative. This would have never happened if you didn't do anything. But you decided to change right when we got married. I couldn't even fathom the idea that just because we got married, that I would be treated so poorly.
Sherry, because you're so young, of course you don't have enough experience in the real world. That's why I, as your mother-in-law, was giving you experience and teaching you about societal norms. The importance of seniority and familial relationships. I can't believe you think that I'm harassing you when I'm obviously only trying to teach you about the real world.
I know that your mother-in-law told you that she was never harassed by her mother-in-law. But the truth is, she in fact was harassed. That's why when you married into their family, she decided that she was going to treat you nicely. But then you go and do the exact thing that she tried to save you from. She must have been pretty shocked when she heard what you were doing.
That's because you made Kyle contact her. What am I supposed to do now? I can't face my mother-in-law like this now.
No, I think you'll be seeing her quite soon.
What?
It seems like your mother-in-law is going to be looking after you for a while. It seems as though she is going to help you change your heart.
What are you talking about? I don't want that.
I don't think you have the right to refuse such a gracious act. Your husband has agreed to this as well.
This is the first time I've heard of this.
Your husband and Kyle both were very surprised when they learned of you harassing me. They were both very sad when they found out. That's why they both agreed to let this happen. Just thank your lucky stars that your husband didn't divorce you over this.
What do you mean by divorce? Sherry, can I tell you something? I was just sad and lonely. When you guys were dating, I thought that you guys wouldn't make it. I thought you guys would eventually split up. But then you guys got married and Kyle rarely ever came to visit me. Kyle would always rave about how great you were, and I just felt that you took my little boy away from me.
I see. But so what?
Don't you feel the least bit sorry for me?
The one I feel sorry for is me, who had to put up with all of your dumb harassments. I truly can't understand how your mind works.
I bet you'll understand once you have children.
You're right. I'm learning something new every day. The child that Kyle and I have might be so cute that it would be hard to let them go.
Then can't you at least understand a little bit where I'm coming from?
I don't want to. If I understood you, I fear that I'd end up becoming just like you.
Sherry, I'm sorry. It was my fault that I gave you that rotten food to eat. I didn't think you would get this upset. I mean, you're a really nice person, right? I thought that even if you got upset, the worst thing that could happen was that you feel a little down.
Are you saying that you underestimated me?
Not exactly.
I really wanted to get along with you. So even when you were harassing me, I tried to play it off and make myself believe that it was just a misunderstanding. It's a shame that it ended up this way.
Then why don't we just start over? We can just let go of the past and start fresh. Let's go back to the time when we both got along. This time, I'll be a different person and treat you better. I promise.
The one who gets treated poorly never forgets what was done to them. I don't know what will happen the next time I see you. Maybe if I become pregnant, you'll make me eat raw foods. Or maybe you'll feed me honey once my child is born. I'm scared to think of the things you might do to me.
I told you I won't ever do those types of things again. I swear on my life that I won't ever do that again.
Well, that's probably true. You probably won't do that anymore. There's no more need for me to worry.
Did you finally believe me? I'm glad. Now we can go back to when we were on good terms.
Oh, did you not understand what I meant? Sorry. Words can be confusing sometimes. I meant that because I will never have to see you again, I won't have to ever worry about you doing anything to me.
Wait, I'll actually teach you things you need to know. I'll actually teach you our family recipes and things that will actually benefit you.
No. I have already learned plenty of things from you. I learned that I can never consider you part of my family. I feel like I've grown so much because of what you did to me. After that, my mother-in-law was invited over to her mother-in-law's home. She reluctantly packed her stuff and headed over to live with Kyle's grandma. She is now experiencing what it was like to actually be on the receiving end of the harassment from morning until night. I was worried that I was forcing Kyle's grandma to do something that she didn't want to do. But she wanted to get rid of even the slightest bit of cancer in the world and willingly took this role upon herself. If you can't already tell, my mother-in-law's black heart is the cancer. I don't know if my mother-in-law will ever have a change of heart, but I hope that she will at least use this time to reflect on her past actions. From then on, we never went to my in-laws' place on the weekends. Because of that, we have been able to go on dates to a lot of different places. We are enjoying being newlyweds. And on the weekdays, I maintain my relationship with my father-in-law by cooking a meal for him as he lives all alone now. I now understand the reason why my mother-in-law cherished her son so much. However, when I have my own child, I plan on letting them go once they start their own family. That might be the one and only takeaway that I got from her. And I realized that one day I want to be like Kyle's grandmother, mentally tough, with a kind heart. I don't want to do anything to someone that I would hate for someone to do to me. I know it's a simple thing, but I believe it is very important. To never forget that feeling and to always thank those around you who support you. I hope that from here on, my husband and I will be able to build up a happy home for our family.